The LGA 1700 platform represents the latest and greatest chipsets from Intel to date. However, that does not mean you need to spend a ridiculous amount of money to enjoy the new platform. If you want to buy a decent 12th-gen motherboard on a budget, then the Prime B660-Plus is by far your best bet. It brings everything that is great about the 12th gen platform to a lower price. It's the best motherboard for i5 processors within the 12th gen lineup. In terms of design, this motherboard looks quite basic. ASUS has changed up the design a bit from previous Prime motherboards, and this one goes for a more simple look. While the design is not going to blow anyone away, it gets the job done well. The PCB is mostly black, but it has a lot of stenciling which interferes with what could have been a stealthy industrial design. As for the heatsinks, both the power delivery and chipset heatsink use a silver finish to add some flair to appearance. This finish can be seen on the M2 heatsink as well. Speaking of which, this B660 motherboard has 3 M2 slots, all of which can use PCIe Gen 4. Of course, this depends on what generation of PCIe your graphics card runs at. Still, it's not bad to see a feature like this on an entry-level motherboard. Keep in mind that this B660 motherboard does not feature support for DDR5, as will be the case with the majority of B660 motherboards. DDR5 support is reserved for the Z690 platform, and it would not make sense to buy a RAM kit that's twice as expensive as the motherboard anyway. As for the connectivity, you get a good selection of USB ports, with both USB 3.2 Gen 2 and Type-C making an appearance. You also get 2.5 gigabit Ether LAN, but Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are not present here. You also get a good number of fan headers. While the board itself lacks any RGB lighting, you can still control the lighting of your other components through ASUS Armory Crate. Components with RGB can be synced via AuraSync. All in all, this is a very decent motherboard for the price. Performance is quite acceptable as well. While overclockers and hardware enthusiasts might want to look elsewhere, the average gamer will learn to appreciate this motherboard. To sum it up, we like the 12th gen support for cheap, the decent VRM configuration, the triple M2 slots, and it supports 4800 megahertz of RAM. On the downside, it has a generic overall appearance and there's no Wi-Fi or Bluetooth support. Our rating for VRM design is 8 out of 10. Aesthetics, 8 out of 10. Connectivity, 8.5 out of 10. Value for money, 8.5 out of 10 for an overall rating of 8.25 out of 10. Do you think another motherboard's better? Check another video where we reviewed the top 5 motherboards for the RTX 3080. Tell us your opinion. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Have an awesome day.